So on to the next one. We're starting again on the right hand side, all the way to the right first. So thread number 4. So you've got needle thread, so that's number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. So we are starting with number 4. So up at the top, this camera sorted. So up at the top, you've got your threads going in. So they are going to go from back to front. So from the back through to the front. So from the back through to the front, I'm going to use my tweezers again to catch as they come through. And then straight down to the back of the machine. So if I just show you around the back there. So straight down. Onto your tension guide. So for thicker thread, it says just to take it through once, and for thin and normal thread to take it round and down. So this is your moon thread, which is 120 spun polyester. So I would say that was a normal thread. So that's what you want to be doing, is underneath, over the top, and then click it in and back through. So it's creating like an S. So if I just move that there so that you can see it. So this one is the purple one. So this is your lower looper. Now with this one, it seems to hook on slightly different to the other tension dials. So you want to take it around to the right first, let it hook on, and then you kind of come back up and then down on itself. So rather than the thread just going straight down, it goes up towards the top and then comes down. So it's at a slight angle to where it comes out, but that's okay. It hooks on at the top. So if it is coming straight down, you know you've not hooked it on your dial properly. So we're following so it's number 4, which is this light purple colour, so like a lilac, the lilac-y colour. I'm going to move that and zoom in on the front. So I really like the Jaguars because you can get in and you can see everything. So both sides open up, as you can see. So I just bring it down. So we are going to be following the purple line, which is over here. So we're going to follow the purple. So in here through this one, which is that one there. And then we're going to go across to the next purple, which is just here, and tuck that in. So they all just clip in. You don't have to thread these ones. And then across and into that one. So you've gone down, across, and then back up. Now the next one that we're aiming for is actually up here. So I'm going to move it across so that you can see it. So I'm bringing the dial towards me. So it's just come down, and you can actually see here. This is where you're going to be popping your thread. So it'll click on, and then there's a channel for the thread to go in. Now you can't quite get in there at the minute, because if I just move this down, you can see underneath there's like a black needle guard, which is here. So there's this black needle guard which is in the way. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that that stays in there. I hope it stays in there. And with my tweezers, I'm going to take my thread and I'm going to bring it up in the direction. Let me just zoom back out. So I'm going to just bring that thread up in the direction that it wants to go, and I'm going to move the dial towards me so that the thread, the actual hole that we're going into is here. So it's here. So I'm just going to get my thread now, and I'm going to go with my tweezers again, and I'm going to thread through the hole. Just move it a little bit because it's backing onto there. So I'm just going to go through that hole there. Again, try and leave myself a little bit at the back. Don't want to go through. There we go, so it's through there now. Oh. So I've got my thread now, it's gone through that hole, and it's behind the needle guard here underneath, so it's behind there, sitting in the channel. So I'm going to put it under the foot and take it towards the back. So that's that one done. So we're going to go back up to the top now to number 3, sorry, and then I'll come back down and we'll be following the blue this time. So I've got my thread on, and I'm going to take it from the back to the front. Grab that so that's not gone through. So from the back to the front and catch that, and then I'm going to come down again to the thread catcher at the top, and so again I'm going to go through, let that zoom in, so I'm going to go through that and click that into place. So that's clicked in there, then I'm going to go up, and then I'm going to click that one in place, so then it runs back down. So then again it's gone under, over, under, there. Then we're going to take it back down, to your tension guide again, and same thing as before. So you're going to take it across and round and back up on itself, so it's not sitting straight through, so you know it's caught on at that side. So we're following the light blue this time. So that's your diagram there. We're going to go down across and then back up. So we're going to take it down, looking for the blues. So through there first, across to the first blue one. Try not to get my hands in the way. So click that in there, and then across and up. So where that blue one is, you're going to sit it behind. So behind that, do it again. So you're going to take it up and behind. in front here and behind here. And then the next part that we go through is the bit that's up near your needle. So you're going for one second. So this is the bit that you're going for next up here. So we've gone through that one, and then we're going up and through that one there. And again, under the needle, under the foot, sorry, towards the back. And so that is actually the bottom done. So I'm going to come back out both, and I'm going to shut that front up now. So that one up and closed. That one done. So that's the bottom finished off. So I'm going to do the top. So I'm going to thread my needles up again. So back up and then back up too. So I've got my threads on. So I'm going from the back to the front. And then I'm going to come back down to that S shape again. So I'm going across, clipping that in, and then going up and then back into place. So it's doing that S shape again. And then back down through the tension guide. So with this one, there's not as many markings as the others, but I'm holding that in place so it comes right up. Now I actually heard that one click into place when that worked, when that went up there. So it should sit down. So from there, I'm going to take it across. So I'm going to go under there and then over that one. So if I just move that down. So I'm going under the first metal, over the second metal and down. And then I'm going to go through the needle. Again, I'm just going to run it under the foot so it goes then towards the back. I'm just going to and then so that's the right needle done, and then I'm going to go back up, same again for the top. So I'm going to go from the back to the front for my left needle. I'm going to come down onto the top again. So click into place, bring it up and over. There we go. And then down again to the tension dials. Again, we want to click into place. So we're going around the dial. I'm going to be quiet this time, see if you can hear it click. Not quite, but it is clicked on. So with this side this time, you're going to go back down to the place where you clicked the first needle on. So you're going to go down on the first metal piece, and then you're going to go up onto the second one, but rather than coming down, you're going to take it across, and then it'll come down and go into your needle. So I'll try and thread it again through the needle. Got all the tension dials on 4 because that's a pretty good place to start. Now, same as what I did for the other machine, I am going to run it through to check that it is knotted up. So I'm going to put my presser foot down, and then I'm going to bring the dial towards me and just keep an eye on my threads. So they're pulling but they're not catching, to see if it is knitting up and stitching in place. I'm just going to check. So with the needle threads, they both come across so you go down and under and then up and over and across for both. Sorry, that was my mistake. I'm just gonna pull that across again and see if that'll stitch out. So just by hand to see if it is stitching and knitting up in place. Now I'm going to switch the light on because I can't actually see anything. So we'll have a look to see if it's threading up, and if it is, we'll introduce the material. So I can see there that it is starting to take shape. The stitch is starting to take shape there. So we'll introduce the fabric. And so we're just going to cut that bit off. We're going to put the edge of the fabric up to the needles. and then run through. So lifting the foot, bring your needle in, and then start to run that material through. So it's just starting to take the material, so I'm just gonna change the stitch length a bit longer. There we go. So now I'm just going to run it through by hand to see if it works. That one feels lovely. The stitch is off slightly. Because it's a bit of an older machine, it's already been bedded in, so we might just need to reduce the stitch slightly just because it's looping over. And it could be as well that your knife is not sharp enough, so it could be that your knife needs replacing. So I'm just gonna have a little play, but that's both of your machines threaded up for you. There you go.